From CBS News, this is 30 Minutes with Christopher Glenn and Betty Ann Bowser.
As long as anyone can remember, people have been expressing themselves by writing or drawing on public walls. There's a word for this. It's called graffiti. However, there are times when graffiti can get out of hand. Right now, New York's subway system is in the grips of a graffiti epidemic. And in the middle of all this sprawl, a few of the young graffiti writers have perfected what some experts call some pretty good art. New York City these days is in the grips of a graffiti epidemic. The problem is acute on the city subway system, where sometimes you can't read the maps or see out of the windows because they're covered with graffiti. Cleanup costs each year are in the millions. Still, there are those who think graffiti is art. Is pop is in. Even the rock group Blondie has glorified graffiti in music.
Illegal, and I know that I could face imprisonment for it. But it doesn't really, it doesn't bother me because I know what I'm doing in my heart is good.
Meet Futura 2000. He's what's known in the graffiti underground as a writer, and among his peers, he's a star.
I don't want to always be riding on subways. I would personally like to flourish as a graphic artist.
Graffiti is against the law. That's why Futura and the other graffiti writers we'll talk to won't reveal their identity. But they will give us an insider's look at their underground world. When a kid starts scribbling his name on the subways, he's called a toy. And the alias he chooses as his signature is called his tag.
Everything that you see is a tag. When someone writes their name on something, that's a tag. This is a heavily bombed line. The number 1 line has always been known for a lot of graffiti.
Toys can be as young as 9 or 10, but most graffiti writers are teenagers. Toys often idolize the older writers like Futura. Some collect the tags of their heroes in autograph-like books. Unlike the more experienced writers, toys scribble anywhere, on windows, maps, signs. The transit authority, the public, even the experienced writers themselves don't like what the toys do. What do you think about toys that write on maps and windows?
I can't condone writing on the inside because it's offensive. Because people don't want to look at it. I think that there's enough problems with the subway system in general that they don't need to constantly be eyeballing all of this graffiti.
And yet it's okay for you to paint the outside of subway trains and make pretty pictures.
Right, okay, both are equally illegal, both are equally as destructive.
How do you justify the difference between the two?
I personally can't justify it. I believe in what I'm doing, and that by doing a large design on the outside of the train, it's definitely adding to the beauty of the whole subway system.
As graffiti writers mature in age, style, and technique, they graduate to the outside of the subway cars and to more elaborate drawings known as pieces. A writer will spend 3 to 6 hours on a piece, working mainly at night when the cars are parked in the yards or in the tunnels. There's an unwritten rule that the graffiti writer's tools, namely spray paint and felt-tip markers, must be stolen. Writers usually work with 1 or 2 friends, and from these informal associations, clubs grow, like the Fabulous Five, the CIA, and Rolling Thunder. The results can be mind-boggling. Some people even call it art. That's what you'll hear from Futura and some of his fellow writers, members of the Soul Artists, a group of graffiti writers who are trying to go legit. Is graffiti art or is it vandalism?
It's creative vandalism. It depends on who's doing it and where it's being done. There's no question that a kid that takes a can of paint and scrawls his name over the base of a statue is committing an act of vandalism. But we think that the art we do on trains has a tremendous amount of artistic validity.
There's probably not another major city in the United States that has so much graffiti as New York. Why do you think it happens here?
There's a lot of expression that's really bottled up in the inner city. In the poor neighborhoods, the projects and tenements, there really isn't a lot of opportunity for self-expression. Frustrated musicians never have enough money to buy musical equipment. Frustrated artists never have enough money for studio space or canvases. All of us have in common a desire to paint and a desire to communicate. And I think that's what the essence of graffiti is. Right now, we've moved in the direction of commercial art, graphics, sign painting, mural painting.
Do you think the kids enjoy the danger of doing it?
Oh, for sure. Everybody that grows up in this society has a rebellious streak in them.
And a little daredevil
in them. We think the city is not aware of the fact that all graffiti is not vandalism and is deliberately ignoring our efforts to improve things. But at the point where society starts recognizing this tremendous drive and motivation among young kids to paint and to beautify their environment, and to personalize their environment, that's the point at which things are going to start to move in a progressive way.
Reese Stone is spokesman for the New York City Transit Authority.
This year alone, we will be spending in the neighborhood of $6 million for graffiti removal and vandalism.
Do you have any idea how much it costs to clean up just one train?
One train to clean, that's interior and exterior, is approximately $2,500. And if you were to multiply $2,500 times the number of trains we have in our fleet, which is over 6,000, it comes to a large sum of money, and we do not have that kind of money to spend on graffiti removal. There are other problems far more serious that we should be spending money on.
Do you think passengers have stopped riding the trains to some extent because of graffiti?
Absolutely. There are many times when we cannot even bring a train out of the train yard for service in the morning because paint is applied over all of the windows, the motorman's cab, and that's the compartment where the motorman, the train is driven, and they can't see out of the windows. So that's a serious problem.
Is graffiti art or vandalism?
Vandalism.
These days, it's war between the graffiti writers and the Transit Authority. A special graffiti squad has been set up, complete with undercover cops. The two legends on the squad are Kevin Hickey and Conrad Lichnewsky. To graffiti writers, Ski and Hickey are the Starsky and Hutch of the subways. Is this where they get in?
Yeah, here's one of the holes in the fence right here. As quick as you'll patch this up, they will cut it right open. It's next to impossible to have enough policemen to cover the whole area.
Are those two new trains over there? How long will they stay clean?
They can last in place from a day to a week, possibly. And that's before they're repeated again. When the kids see a train that's just been newly cleaned, they will follow that train. So these young kids know the train schedule is just as good as the Transit Authority. You know, where they lay up at nighttime and where it's going to be, what yard it's from, how long the run is before they take it out of service. You say, why don't you, write it, do it on a canvas or something? You say, who will see my name on a canvas? My friends, 5, 10, 15 people. This way I put my name on the side of the train and 5 million people a day see my name.
Is that why they do it?
Most of it for their identity.
For Hickey and Ski to make an arrest, they have to catch a kid actually in the act of writing graffiti. And that's tough. For every one they catch, about 100 get away. Also, the Transit Authority has started a program to make convicted graffiti writers and their parents pay for cleaning up the cars. But graffiti isn't just a police problem. The subways are dirty, the service is slow, the crime rate is high. Graffiti is an added insult to an already hassled passenger.
I despise graffiti.
I think it's a lot of junk. It just depresses me to look at it.
It's very, very, very bad. Filth. Absolute filth. Destruction. I personally dislike it intensely.
It's good. It's very good. It's fantastic.
Ed Bengett is a graphic artist, art director, and instructor at the School of Visual Arts in New York City. Do you think it's vandalism?
Yep. I certainly do. I think it's vandalism because it's not their property. So I'm not happy with the way they're doing it as far as going into the yards and hiding and working at night and so forth. But I am happy that they did it. I love it.
I think it's ghetto art, and in some ways it is art terrorism.
Stefan Eins is an artist and owner of Fashion Moda, an art gallery in New York. He's sponsored a showing of graffiti artists' work done on canvas. It's not exactly the Metropolitan Museum of Art, but it is legit.
Art, of course, is a label. You can call it whatever you want. I happen to love it.
And to you it's art?
Yes, sure.
Among the thousands of graffiti artists who do their numbers on New York subways, Futura 2000 is one of the few with talent, perhaps even worthy of a legitimate art career. But his acceptance by the art world still does not put the public's blessing on what is really vandalism.